Come on, let's go.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for being here and existing with me today. Wow, I feel like I have so much to share and so much to talk about, but I don't even know where to start. Honestly, it has been a rough few weeks, really. I feel like right before the spring equinox, which happy spring. Oh my gosh. Happy spring equinox, everybody. Happy astrological new year. Happy Aries season. Welcome. Ugh, what a beautiful time to be alive. I feel like I'm so depressed during the winter, and then spring rolls around and I'm like, my life. I think it's just another reason why I can't be in the winter. Oh my god, I can't be in the winter in the city, in the cold. I need to exist somewhere where I can just be absorbed by the sun every single day. I'm like a sponge for the sun and the energies that it holds. But wow, yeah, it's been a rough few weeks. I feel like I haven't really filmed much. I've been in a little bit of a creator's block. Honestly, doom scrolling a little too hard. And so I had to shift my life around a little bit. I had to become more conscious of what I was consuming, and that worked. It kind of snapped me right out of it, and motivated me to get back into what I have to say, what I have to do, it just shifted everything for me. But yeah, I'm here today. I will say the last week I've spent incredibly consciously consuming. And what I mean by that is, I looked at my daughter's things. I have a ton of books for her. And I was like, wow, I only allow her to read books that are positive influences on her mind and on her soul. Specifically ones that are grounded in self-love and self-appreciation and the powers that we hold as human beings, as well as gratitude, because I think gratitude is important, so important, especially to share with not only ourselves, with others, and with this beautiful earth and what Mother Nature has to offer. I think we are so consumed by consumerism that people have forgotten to tend to the land and to the beautiful entities that Mother Nature has gifted us with. Makes me sad. That is a whole nother topic, but yeah, I realized that I haven't been consciously consuming myself. And so this past week I've been really intentional with what I'm consuming. And it has been such a beautiful process, and it reminded me as to why I really dislike a lot of the things that I think we're given, iPads and screens. And I was reminded television is tell-a-vision, right? We are what we consume. And with that, it is so important that we begin to really take in things that we want to become. And what I mean by that is, if I'm consistently watching people pick over different parts of their soul, over different parts of their body, or if I'm consistently consuming television and watching people who have filler and different body modifications, if they are, who are completely absorbed by consumerism and what outfit they have on and what new shoes are trending, I find myself almost becoming that, right? I find myself standing in the mirror and going, I don't like the way this looks. I don't like the way this looks. Or staring at my wardrobe and going, none of this looks cute. And so I had to let that go. I was like, I cannot live my life this way. I'm miserable. And I cannot be sucked back into this loop of like hating myself and bullying myself. And again, I was reminded even this morning on Threads, the whole point of the reason why there is a you in universe is because we are the creators of our world, of what we live in. Everything is embodied by and created by our mind. Our dreams can very much become our reality if we live in our dreams as if they already exist. It's crazy how my simple adjustment of, waking up and calling myself beautiful every single day, waking up and consuming content, whether that be listening to meaningful podcasts or, if I am watching something that is educational, how much it has shifted my perspective on life and the beauties that life has to offer. I think I was getting a little bit stuck in just brain rot and just doom scrolling and being caught up in comparing myself far too much. And the minute I shifted that and started to think more highly of myself, I started to view myself more highly. I started to view myself more beautiful, more inspirational, more wonderful. And it's just wild how an easy adjustment like that can really shift your entire being. And so it was just another reminder for me to really wake up and hug every part of myself, including those negative thoughts that maybe live within my mind. Yeah, I've been really consciously consuming, and it's just reminded me of all the different things that, are important to do to nourish your soul. And it's been really nice. It's been really nice to have that mental clarity back, to have the space back, for it to not be filled with clutter, but for it to be filled with wisdom and knowledge, things that I love and things that I can share and that I feel excited to share with others. So I definitely advise any moms out there who are already, I feel like, holding so much mental load to lighten that load a little bit with more intentional wind down techniques, because you already got so much going on up here in your head. Adding all of that extra SHIT is going to really clutter your thoughts and make you feel really clouded. I didn't even notice how much brain fog it was causing. Yeah, I think one of the big topics that has arisen for me this week, and what has allowed this mental clarity has allowed me to really have, is my thoughts on hypersexuality. It really started there. It started actually with a negative thought, because I was getting really, really annoyed with how much people hypersexualize everything. And someone who is very intentional with their sexual partners, with their sharing of sexual energies. I wasn't always that way, by the way. I think that's why I'm so intentional now, is because I used to, through trauma and things that had arisen through my life, I shared that part of myself far too easily. And I always felt almost robbed at the end of the experience. I felt really down. I felt really lost. And so I became incredibly intentional with who I share that energy with. I did a bunch of cord cutting ceremonies with myself to really release any sort of previous sexual energies that I had in my womb. But that aside, I think have always held this intense shame around my sexuality and being sexual. I think almost like a disgust towards it. And I've been trying to discover where that really stems from. And I do truly believe it might have come a lot from trauma, but I don't know. I think it made me realize that duality really truly can exist, and that's something that I've been trying to embody more. We are both energies, both the positive and the negative, the light and the dark, both exist within us. As above, so below, right? The trees, they grow up into the sky, into heaven, into the light, into the sun. Their roots seep down into the darkness, into hell. right? There is both that exists within them. And I think it's been a reminder for me to really lean into those entities and be comfortable with that energy, because that doesn't make me dark. That doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me less conscious or less awake or less intuitive about who I'm sharing my, sexual energies with. It's been really interesting to discover that, and something that I've been trying to really embody a little bit more. I don't know. Has anyone else done this? Anyone else had to work through their shame or their guilt? I'm really curious, because it's been something that I've been learning to navigate as of recently, and I am in my late 20s. So it's bizarre to really feel more powerful and feel like I'm trying to take my power back. I'm very curious if anyone has done anything, or what techniques you guys may have used that has helped you throughout that process of really reclaiming your sexual power back. Because it's something that I'm learning to navigate and I'm still struggling with, but yeah, that's something that has arisen through this week of mental clarity that I've been gifted with. So just wanted to share a little bit there. Another thing that I have been doing has been meditation. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation, because for the first time since Yara has been past the age of 3 months, I was able to engage in a meditation that was about 15 minutes long. It was a guided meditation. I was, in a woman's circle, and wow, my God, I forgot how important it is to calm your mind and be still for a second. It was really, really wonderful for me to take that opportunity to feel connected to Source again. I haven't really had the opportunity to be really present with my connection and my spiritual connection and my spiritual practices. And so having the opportunity to really meditate and sit with myself was wonderful. And it was such a nice opportunity to just feel something for myself again. It makes me quite emotional thinking about it, because it was just such a beautiful meditation. There was so much mental clarity that I had during that time. And it's something that I want to set aside for myself more often. So I encourage all of you moms to really become more conscious of what you're consuming, and the moments that you do have for yourself, be intentional with them. Set some time aside to meditate, to nourish your womb, to massage your womb, to be present with your body and your soul, especially because we hold so much power, y'all. Like, it's crazy. We are such powerful beings, and sometimes I need to remind myself of how freaking amazing we really are. And we can only continue operating in that level of amazingness if we nourish the amazingness. So, I don't know. I feel like I've just been chatting away. Maybe it makes a bunch of nonsense, but this is just things that have been on my mind. High level, really. And I wanted to just check in with you guys. I really appreciate the 6 followers that I have. And I'm grateful that you guys tune into my videos. And I think it's made me nervous because I want to be more intentional with what I'm filming. But by doing so, I've been putting too much pressure on myself, and then I'm lose the authenticity of it. So I just need to get comfortable sitting, chatting, and whoever decides to tune into my words will, and who doesn't. So who cares? But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for existing with me today. I love y'all. Love y'all. Ciao, ciao for now.
What you wanna do one day?